Gavin, despite leading tonight, we've slipped to another defeat against Billericay Town. Do you feel that told the whole story?
I think I understand what you're saying, and what I think you're saying is very similar to Saturday. That we've probably been in the very much in the game, very much in the ascendancy, certainly in the second half, and I understand that. That people will look and think that there's very little between the sides in that respect, and very similar probably on Saturday. But we've lost the two games, if I can cover them both, and certainly again tonight, because of moments. We saw their winning goal on Saturday, and we've seen yet another error tonight where we've actually had the ball and it's ended up within 2 or 3 passes in our net. So unfortunately, yes, I can understand where you're coming from, and there might be a certain narrative from people to say, you know what, we probably deserve something out of that game tonight and all that. But if you're going to be making mistakes like we are, especially against the top teams, you will expect to get punished, and that's exactly what's happened tonight. So for all our huff and puff and all our endeavour, people will look at it and go, well, there's nothing between the sides. In that respect, we've come away with nothing, and I know why we've come away with nothing. So we can only look inwardly at ourselves, not the fact that a team has come here and opened us up in that respect, that we've actually contributed to our own downfall, and that is very much the way I feel at the moment, and in a lot of respects how I felt for a few weeks. Look, I don't want to throw. I'm not looking to throw the players on. That's not how we work, because we're all accountable. I'm certainly accountable, but in some respects, I can't coach mistakes. It's not something that you have within your gift. All you can look at and understand whether the players are actually going to be capable of doing what you're asking them to do, and if it's not within their capabilities, then I've got to look at what we're doing. Some would argue, well, it was within their capabilities for half a season, but just at the moment, maybe I've got some relationships on the pitch that aren't working that way.
Adding to the frustration, I mean, in some respects, it's the 8th penalty we've conceded in the league this season already, and much like Saturday in a way, and again, that must be another immensely frustrating sort of thing to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was, I've had the benefit of looking at Saturdays and going back and looking at it, and I felt that Saturdays looked very harsh. I've looked at tonight's, I think in 2024 it's a penalty, but actually it's probably the rule that is actually pretty harsh, because Jimbo's momentum, he's trying to block a shot, he brings his arms up to this sort of level, and it hits him. It's a natural thing to do. He's not thrown them above his head or anything like that. They're not out there, it's just here. But the reality is, in this day and age, is, that's what you get, and it's a penalty. So I don't disagree necessarily with the decision. I think the rule at times is just a very harsh one.
Another change of system tonight. Obviously, weren't helped in terms of personnel by 2 enforced absences quite close to kick-off. How much of a spanner did that throw into your pre-match plans?
Well, I mean, yes, it did massively. I've never had. I don't think I've had as what I would consider to be as poor a preparation for a game as that. But actually, Taffy's got man of the match, and probably quite rightly so, filling in at right back. But Ollie obviously has had a ban enforced on us. 3 o'clock this afternoon, roughly speaking, for something that happened in October. The FA got to have a good long hard look at themselves in respect of how they go about things. In my book, I'm not disputing what's gone on in respect of his ban. I'm disputing timescales. I'm disputing the fact that they couldn't even get the date right on the charge, and the fact that we were playing in the Conference North, which would be nice, but we're not at the moment. So almost very frustrating. But the reality is that Ollie's got a 3-match ban which started this afternoon and obviously included tonight. So we had to reshuffle that, which we'd got a contingency for, because we knew it was coming, and we knew that there was a good possibility he might be banned for tonight. And then obviously with Mickey getting stuck in with the A10 being closed, I believe, and being stuck there and not arriving to literally kick-off time, we had to reshuffle the pack, and we had to put some square pegs in round holes to an extent. So fair play to them from a certain point of view. The lads, they've gone at it tonight and had a right go at it, even though our prep's been pretty poor through not really anyone's fault. But we've come up short, and there's always a reason why you come up short.
It was a changing system back to the 5 in midfield. Was that something you'd prepped beforehand?
Yes, it was. I mean, that was going to happen anyway. Especially when we lost Ollie. I just felt that we needed to try and shore things up a little bit in that middle of the park. When you look at some of the goals that we've conceded, especially on Saturday and one at hashtag, they come straight down the middle of the park, and that's not actually happened tonight. Billericay don't necessarily play too much. They ask questions of you and spin it around the corner and spin it round and spin it round and spin it round, and you have to cope with that. And I didn't think we did very well in the first half with that, but in the second half I thought was a lot better. We were a lot more on the front foot without massively testing the keeper.
Were you satisfied enough with our service tonight?
Service for the front guys? Yeah, I think when you take Ollie out the side, it's difficult because he's an outside and deliver, and he normally puts things on a sixpence, so that's difficult. And you're putting Marcus out there who is not on his favoured side, if you like, and you're asking him to do a completely different job, which is to come in off the line and join in with Reece. And he scored again. He scored at hashtag doing it, and he scored again. Not necessarily looking for Marcus to do that. It's just consequences of how we had to reshuffle tonight and look at where we were. So, no, I don't think the service was brilliant. And we didn't create an awful lot. I think Sam had a really good chance first half. There was a couple of little scrambles and bits and pieces, but they're a mean defence. And the difference I think tonight in a lot of respects, other than the goal, is the fact that they defended a lot better than we did. They did the basics so much better.
Indeed, among the silver linings was Marcus getting back on target and with a particularly well taken goal as well. Yeah,
I did. I'm really pleased for him because he although he will look at it and think that he's gone through a bit of a rough patch in respect of how he's been playing now. He's still chipping away. He's still chipping in with goals, and we mentioned one at hashtag as well. So. In certain respects, if he's going through a bit of a lull and he's still chipping in every few games with goals, well, I'd like to see when he's back firing, properly. But I think he's gone a long way tonight, and I think he's worked really hard. There's a lot of positives out there. Look, the result is all important. That's the basis of it. We're not an academy side. We're not a side that's trying to build and look at how we can look at the positives regardless of the result. We're here for results, and at the moment we're not getting them. We're all accountable. I'm especially accountable. I'm absolutely gutted because there isn't a million miles between us and Billericay, and let's not forget what was expected of them this season. But we're right in there with them. But I hate using the term fine margins. Hopefully I haven't used it too often. But the last two games we've seen those fine margins, and you now understand why Hornchurch are where they are, Billericay are where they are, and why we're not actually quite with them.
Does it make Canvey a more interesting proposition? Well,
it makes Canvey very much we've got to go and win. Because I'm looking at how the league's setting up at the moment, and there's a chasing pack that are right on our heels, and from that point of view, we were in a very healthy position, or a much healthier position, I should say, a few weeks ago. We're now not. We're now in a position where we are scrapping, fighting to stay where we want to stay. Yeah, admittedly, we just played the two best teams, so for others it will come round for them. But I don't care about reputations of teams and how much they might or might not have in their budgets and the sorts of things you hear. I believe we can. I believe we could come out here and beat Hornchurch, and I believe we could come out here and beat Billericay. And if we were playing them tomorrow, I would still believe that. The problem being is that they've just done things better than us tonight, and there's a reason why we're not there. I've got to now look at it and think: is it capabilities within my players, or is it something that we need to coach into them? At the moment, I'm not sure we're quite up to those capabilities.
Let's hope we turn it around on Saturday. Thank you, Gavin.